All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. It didn't take future Hall of Fame guard Klay Thompson that long to find the new basketball home as he's headed to the Dallas Mavericks on a 3-year deal for $50 million via a sign and trade. Now, the writing was on the wall that Clay's time with the Golden State Warriors was done. But can he and will he have an impact with this Mavericks team? Okay. Now, like I said last night, Clay is going to be extremely motivated for the first year of this deal. Why? Because he's going to look to prove his critics as well as the Golden State Warriors wrong and say, hey, you know what? I can still get this thing done. Now, Thompson joined a Dallas team that just finished 3 wins short of winning the NBA championship last month. And you know about Dallas. And when it comes to the Mavericks, it's all about Luka Doncic and it's all about Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving has an NBA championship to his credit. Now you're bringing in a guy that has 4 NBA championships on his resume as well, and Klay Thompson. And you look at it by bringing in Klay, the Mavericks basically used the money that they just cleared when they traded Tim Hardaway Jr. to the Detroit Pistons last week. So now there's going to be some questions about this thing. First and foremost, will Clay start or come off the bench? Conventional wisdom would say that Clay Thompson is going to start with Dallas. Me personally, I would like to see him come off the bench because he just, gives you a proven scorer there. But then with the ability to set up for by both Luca and Kyrie, I think Clay has the ability to play off of them. I think, clearly he's going to understand his role there. It's one of those where Clay Thompson is not the solid defender that he once was during those championship years for the Warriors. I mean, you look at those injuries, an ACL injury and an Achilles injury by themselves are each difficult to come back from. And Clay had to do them both in consecutive years. And very rarely, have you seen somebody who had that Achilles injury come back and be the same person. Okay, he's not as explosive. He doesn't have the lift on his jump shots either. So I mean, it's one of those when you're talking about Clay Thompson, you're talking about a guy career wise who has averaged just a shade under 20 points for his career. But if he could come in and consistently be a 12 to 15 point per game guy for these Dallas Mavericks, you know what? That is a huge lift for Dallas because it's one thing that hurt the Mavericks in that finals loss to the Boston Celtics. They didn't have a guy not named Luca or Kyrie who could consistently knock down an outside shot. And now that gives you an opportunity to change that narrative if you're Dallas. And then on top of that, the intangibles that Klay Thompson brings to the table because you don't win 4 NBA championships by accident. Okay. And for all of the splash and sizzle that we saw from those Golden State Warriors teams, they worked. They played D. Those guys did whatever it took in order to go out there and win. And now you're going to have a guy like that coming into your locker room if you're the Mavericks, and he's going to command respect from day one. So I think Clay's impact for this Dallas Mavericks team is going to be felt in a lot of different ways. And on the flip side of this, it is truly the end of an era in the Bay Area. And I'm not just talking about Klay Thompson, I'm talking about these Warriors because when you think about the Warriors' championship success, you thought about Steph Curry, you thought about Klay Thompson, and you also thought about Draymond Green. And now, of course, one part of that equation is no longer a Warrior. There were other key guys for the Warriors over the years, but you thought about that threesome first, along with head coach Steve Kerr. So it's one of those all good things must come to an end. Nothing lasts forever. Okay. And for Klay Thompson, he could have taken that 2-year extension for 48 million from the Warriors before. He didn't. Probably felt slighted. That's his opinion. But at the end of the day, he did get paid handsomely for those 2 years when he wasn't playing by the Golden State Warriors. So you can take it from whatever camp that you want to take it from there. But nonetheless, it's a business. That's what it comes down to. And I think, again, like I said before, Clay, I think, is going to use this opportunity to be extra motivated because he wants to go out there and try to prove some people wrong. At the end of the day, I don't think it's going to be completely bitter between Klay Thompson and the Golden State Warriors because they made some beautiful music together, if you will. Because he was a vital part of those four championship teams. He's going to be loved. He has been loved, and he will continue to be loved and respected by the fans of the Warriors. And I think when he returns for the first time as a visitor, it's going to feel weird, yes, but the people are definitely going to show him love and appreciation. And I think when it's all said and done, when the dust does settle, Clay will come back to Golden State or to the Bay Area when his career is done, and he is going to be welcomed with open arms. For Jason Kidd, the Mavericks head coach, you now get yourself another veteran who can act as an additional coach on the court for you. And I think that's going to be big as these Dallas Mavericks look to get over the hump. Now, I know that Dallas is looking to get back to the finals and win the NBA championship. The odds are going to be against them, not because they're not talented, okay? But you just got to look at it. The last team to get back to the finals after getting there the year before and not winning, you got to go back to the Cavaliers of 2016. Okay. And of course, during that stretch, we saw Golden State face Cleveland 4 consecutive years in the NBA Finals. But nonetheless, the game has changed. Just like we have not seen a repeat winner of the NBA championship since Golden State in 2018, we haven't seen a team get back to the finals that consistently as well. I like the addition of Klay Thompson for the Golden State, pardon me, for the Dallas Mavericks here, as long as he plays his role, and I think he will. Of course, Dallas, they traded Tim Hardaway Jr., they lost Derrick Jones Jr. in free agency as he signed with the Clippers. You still got Luka and Kyrie, and then also PJ Washington, who was big following that midseason trade for the Mavericks. And you got a guy like him coming back, and of course you're bringing in a veteran like Clay. And I think the Mavericks are going to be in the mix to be one of the top teams once again in the West. For the Warriors, what can I say? Like I said, it's the end of an era. Things are just not the same there anymore. It's one of those where Steph Curry's still going to be Steph Curry, yes, but those championship days and that championship window, to me, has officially closed. But nonetheless, Klay Thompson has himself a new basketball home, and let's see if he can be the missing piece to get the Dallas Mavericks that NBA championship. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank all of you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line to be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I am signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.